To mochas, Nola bells and bows. Where the love runs deep, the fam stays strong, and the bells, they always ring for us. We the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, real ones only, we don't mess around. All love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. Just show a real and you already home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pull up to the bells and bows like a Sunday seed. Got peace in the room and the vibe on beat. No drama, no mess, just minds that meet. Introduce yourself in the chat and the mods gon' greet. Real talk, we got brothers and sisters here. Ain't no fake love, every heart sincere. We've been through storms, but the skies stay clear. Loyalty live, that's the chant you hear. Woo! No chaos in the comment section. Just bells with a bond and a bold connection. Safe space, strong face, deep reflection. Mocha, don't fold, that's pure protection. If you ever felt unheard, misunderstood, pull up in the chat, we treat you good. Ain't gotta be loud, just gotta be true. Mocha got the light and we shine with you. Not a panel of pain, it's a platform of pride. Everybody got space and we don't divide. You loyal, you love, that's how we ride. Got a bell and a bow in the name, but a tribe world. From the mods to the lurkers and folks on rewatch. Every tap, every like, we feel it alive. Mocha ain't just a name, it's a vibe you caught. Nola bell, Nola boast, that's a family, not a thought. Bring it loud, we the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, we do. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Real talk, all love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. To show a real and you already home. Mocha said that to every bell in the space. Whether you typing, watching, or just vibing, you are this family. And over here, we don't fold, we ring. Ooh, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another evening of family getting together, sitting around a table on the porch, having a few chit chats and a few drinks and doing what we do. Nonetheless, we're back here. Conversation is going to be light tonight, relaxing and vibing. That's what we're doing. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Y'all already know how we do what we do when we do it over here. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button for your girl. Those emojis to the right, double tap them for me. Please let YouTube know that we are live and the porch is open. Over here, everybody's somebody. No big eyes, no little U's. All opinions matter. Everything we do here, we do it in love and we do it in respect. And if you've been rocking with us for a minute, you already know how we do. So to each and every one of you coming in, welcome, 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 welcome. I see y'all coming up in here. Marty, I see you, boo. Boo Banga. Welcome, welcome. My girl Roz, welcome, boo, and happy Thursday. And thank you for always supporting the channel. My sister is Sheena. I see you, my love. I see you. I see you, sis. Let's see who else is up in here. Ariane, welcome, sister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lady D, welcome, boo. Welcome to you. My girl Star. Hey, niece. I see you. Deborah Crosby, welcome. Welcome each and every one of you. Go get her. Hey, boo, welcome. Hey, Wanda, welcome to the chat, boo. Carla Russell, welcome, welcome, welcome. My sister April, welcome, sis, and happy Thursday to you. Belinda, welcome, baby. Happy Thursday, my love. Welcome to each and every one of you. We're not here for a long time, but we're going to make the best of the time that we have. Guys, first of all, let me just say this. Hey, Charlotte Stewart, welcome to the chat, my love. Let me just say this. For those of you that were fortunate enough to see the interview that Toot had this evening with Jarvis's Butts sister, if you didn't see, baby, you missed the interview. And I'm going to say shout out to Tootie Uncensored. That was one hell of an interview. She get her flowers. She did that. April, thank you, sister, for supporting the channel. Thank you. Beautiful soul. Welcome, sister. Shout out to Tootie. She did that. Can't take away from someone what they rightfully deserve. She deserved every bit of that. And I'm going to also say to Tijuana, God bless your strength. Because as a sibling, it took a lot. It took a lot for her to put herself in the position that she put herself in. It took a lot for that. A lot of light was shed on a lot of things. Vivek, I see you. Essie, I see you. Cynthia Herman, welcome. JJ, welcome to the chat. It took a lot for her to do everything she done. And she too deserves recognition for that. And as I sit there looking at the interview, listening to her, I felt her pain. I felt her passion. I felt her heart. Because she put herself too in a very bad situation. Kathy, welcome to the chat, my love, and thank you for your support. That lady put herself in a bad situation. But I was able to understand her positioning, right? Let me tell you why I was able to understand her positioning. Tijuana has integrity. She had morals. She has standard. And Tijuana lives by a code. And I respect that. Because at the end of the day, real recognizes real. It's easy for us to pinpoint and throw fingers and ask why would she do that to her brother. But that's where morals step in. That's where morals and decency step in. Rather, it was a brother, a daddy, a cousin, or a friend. It don't dictate who you choose to expose when you know things aren't right. Roz, I'm like you. If I could have rushed through the screen and just gave her a hug, she deserved it all. She truly did. She stood on business. She put all the naysayers and the negativity and all the backlash she was getting, she put it behind her. And let me tell you what I love more about her, because she reminds me so much of me. If you're going to come out here and try to assassinate my character, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, assassinate it with the truth. Because I'm going to stand in my shit. Don't spin narratives. Don't lie on me to make yourself seem relevant. And those that go along with the bullshit that you're feeding them, you deserve to be in that space. I'm an open book, as she said. Can't nobody tell you about me better than I can. I was in here in an amen corner when she said that. And what we all fail to realize, yes, that's her brother. But that lady, just like you, me, and everybody else, Tijana Butts, cannot carry the cross for the sins that her brother committed. She came out here and she cleared a lot of things up. A lot of inconsistencies, a lot of false narratives, a lot of rumors and lies. And let me tell you something about Mocha. See, I've always told y'all, if I mess up, I could own my shit and I could stand in my shit. Always said that. When the NaZiyah Harris case first started, I was one of them. I was one of them. When information came out here, instead of me doing my due diligence and fact checking it, the source, I too spun narratives. But now I realized as I started growing, I realized, no, Mocha, you can't do this shit because it don't make sense. And yeah, no, you got to consider the source. And when she laid it on the table today without really laying it on the table, and if anybody was picking up what she was putting down, the source in which all of this information came from when all of this first transpired, she called that source out today. No names needed. She said it was fabricated. She said it was lies. And where I am today, the position I sit in today, I agree with her wholeheartedly. I now see the bullshit, the lies, the extra additives. But why? But why? But why? And you know, guys, as I listen to everything that's transpired from the preliminary to the sentencing to her now coming out and speak, right? If we want to be perfectly honest, Tijana Butts, that was her brother. Tijana Butts, that lady did not have to come out here and say a word. And let me tell you something. Had she not said a word, had she not said a word, we would not be where we are today. Because let the truth be told, it was Tijana Butts that incriminated her very own brother. Had Tijana Butts not said a word, Shannon wouldn't have done it. Annette would have not done it. Jarvis would have been back on the streets by now, doing what he had been doing. But she loved that brother so much. I don't care how nobody else look at it, because that's love. She loved her brother so much that she sacrificed. She sacrificed the fact that that's my sibling, to stand on morals, principles, and integrity. You can't take something away from a person that's built into them, no matter how you try to drag and damage their character. She's to be commended for the stand that she took when she took it. And even today, at a time like this, when she finally decides to step out, all those people that was in that live stream and listening to that interview, even in this moment, there were so many disrespectful comments. And all this lady, at the end of the day, all she wanted was peace. All she wanted to do was reunite her nieces and her nephews with their family, the ones that they don't know. That lady debunked it, so many lies. I don't know who started the rumor mill about Jarvis having 30 plus kids. No. She says as far as she knows, 10. 10 that she knew of. And then she also made a public plea. She made a public plea: if I have nieces and nephews out there, please reach out to me, because we would love to get to know you. That's humanity. That's love. And she displayed all of that. Can't take that away from her. Can't take it away from her. She addressed many things. She also went on to say that Jarvis and she were very close. He was 4 years younger than she was. She went through some things. She shared them with her brother. And he protected her. He kept watch over her. And it hurt her. It hurt her to her soul to know that her brother turned out to be the very thing, turned out to be the exact thing that he tried protecting her from all of her life. So that's why it was easy for her to say the Jarvis Butts that she was up against was not the Jarvis Butts that she knew. We can't take that away from her. We cannot take that away from her because she grew up with him. We did not. She knew him to be one way. We didn't know him that way. We knew what was presented to us. So we cannot crucify nor convict this lady for loving her brother. That was her brother. That was her brother. She went on to say that he'd done a little juvie time growing up. It was for rubs, she said. This is the first time we heard just a little snippet of his background. I'm sure there's more, but that wasn't for her as a sister to open up to social media and tell all his dirty secrets. Welcome each and every one of you to the chat. Welcome, 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 and happy Thursday. Sunshine, I see you, boo. Y'all be careful. When Jarvis was much younger, it was uncovered here in these YouTube streets that Jarvis had a relationship with an older woman. Even I have to own my shit. I was guilty of repeating what was being said. Thank you, Tijuana. Thank you, Tijuana, because you corrected that. Thank you so very much. Tijuana said, the word on the streets were, Jarvis at the age of 14 had a relationship with a 40-plus woman. Said Jarvis' mama supposedly turned him on or tricked him out to this woman, and that woman had a baby. Thank you, Tijuana. She said ain't no truth to that. What she did say was her brother lied to this woman about his age. That was number one. She said Jarvis was indeed 14 years old. He told that lady he was 18. But I still have a problem with it. Even if he was 18, she was 40 something, but neither here nor there. That's how the story went, she said. But the biggest lie of all came. See, you got to call a thing a thing. God damn it, because if you lie about little things, bigger things is easy for you. She said her mother, and that lady has challenges of her own, God bless her. She said her mother don't even know who the hell that lady is. So how did we get from Jarvis Butts being in a relationship with a 40-plus-year-old woman and his mama supposedly tricking him out to be with the woman? Hey, Shell, baby. Welcome to the chat, my loving. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I commend her for that. I commend her for setting that record straight. It's one thing to put these stories out here on my brother. He is who he is. He made that bed, let him lie in it. But it's another thing to put a story out there on my mother. Because at the end of the day, that is still my mother. Regardless of what walk of life she comes from, that's still my mother. And she corrected that narrative too. Her mother was in her addiction, couldn't care for them, rightfully so. She could have made many decisions in life, but instead of she giving them to the state, instead of she giving them to the system, she allowed the grandmother to care for them. She cared for them. And not only did she care for them, a grandmother, being a grandmother, we don't know what her age was, God bless her. But Sister Tijana stepped up to the plate as the big sister and as a mother figure. That lady has lived a life that we none can imagine, right? And her story today, her opening up today, it showed a sign for all of us, to take a look at decency and humankind. If you've never walked in my shoes, if you've never been where I've been, you've never experienced what I've experienced, how the hell can you judge me? That lady has been through the fire, the flood, and she's still a walking testimony. She's been through some things that some of us as adults, even right now, possibly could never. And I commend her for that. I commend her for that. Her brother has faced a slew of charges, right? He had statutory rape. At that time, Jarvis was 21 years old. He told his sister, but, well, she said he told her. The girl told him she was 18. But then we know Jarvis now. He's a liar. He's a liar. He had his family fooled for a very long time. And I believe he had them fooled because he didn't want them to be ashamed of who he had become. He didn't grow up around them. And she made that very clear. He did not grow up around them. Jarvis took to the streets at a very young age. So Jarvis was pretty much raised in the streets. And I'm going to say this, because again, like I've always said, we have to walk in our shit. You say something that you have no business saying because you're reaching. You have to be mindful. Because not one time did Tijana Butts come out here and say that Jarvis was out there doing A, B, C, and D with his daddy. She never said Jarvis had a relationship with his father in the streets. So now that took me back. Because now it was out here in the streets. Jarvis Butts' father introduced him to that life. Jarvis Butts' father was this. Where did y'all find his daddy at? The subject at hand was Jarvis Butts. The subject at hand should have not been the father, the mother, nor the siblings. I'm guilty. The only thing I'm going to stand here and say that I'm guilty of is repeating what I heard. I own that. I own that. I own that. But it took me a while to realize that. Because none of that shit was presented as factual. But Tijana debunked those lies. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. On God, she did. She also admitted that her brother had very sticky fingers. That's why he separated himself from the family. His sticky fingers separated him from the family. Let me grab some of y'all comments. Natasha, hey, boo. Happy Thursday, my love. Lebec said, Mocha, I was waiting for her to say something. Thank God she did, Lebec. I'm so proud of her. I am. Ron said, I wanted to hug her. She is an amazing woman. Absolutely she is, Roz. Hey, Rhapsody, welcome, boo. Hey, Belinda. Absolutely, Lebec. That is still, at the end of the day, that is still her brother. Again, like I said last night, I'm no different from you. You're no different from me. We are no different from Tijana Butts, and we are no different from Jarvis Butts. We all got a Jarvis Butts. May not be on that level. Our Jarvis Butts might have sticky fingers. Our Jarvis Butts might be a drunk. Our Jarvis Butts may be chaotic and cause all kind of family drama. But one thing we know, and you a damn lie and the truth ain't nowhere around it. You cannot say that you too don't have a Jarvis Butts. Just may not be to that extent. But what makes me better than her? What makes you better than her? And what makes your family members better than him? We all go through some shit. And if you lie and say you ain't got that, then you from somewhere else. Absolutely you are. Ron said, yes, I can relate to her. Similar experiences in my own life. See what I'm saying? We all could relate. At some point, we all can relate to where this lady is sitting in this moment. Welcome to each and every one of you that's just joining the chat. We're talking about the awesome live, the awesome interview that Jarvis Butts' sister Tijana did with Tootie Uncensored this evening. Shout out to Toot for conducting such a professional, well-organized, intentional, and heartfelt interview. Shout out to Tijana for being that girl. Her strength, her resilience, her endurance, and her love for her family spoke volumes. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And if you're living in a space where you don't have family values, morals, connections, or ties to yours, you wouldn't understand. Tiffany says she definitely deserved a hug. Absolutely, Tiff. Absolutely. Lady D says she's a very strong woman. She showed that today. She showed that today. Essie said there will be no funeral. She spoke that. Yes, Essie. For all those that question that, she debunked the lie that Roxy put in the atmosphere. She debunked that lie real quick. She said, first of all, and I asked that very same thing she said, I asked that right here on this platform. Tijuana said, first of all, where would Roxy get that information from? Because that information would have not been released to nobody other than the family. Then she went on to say, she would have not been the one first in line. She would have not been the first one in line to claim that body. There were 3 other people in line ahead of her to do so. Roxy, you got to stop the bullshit. But thank you, Tijana Butts. Thank you so very much for clearing up yet another lie. And you got to be full of it to believe any damn thing Roxy says. Full of it. And whether people want to debunk it, argue it, or whatever, at the end of the day, this lady still has a right to love her brother, no matter what he's done. She don't agree with his actions, but she cannot deny that that's her brother. Cynthia Harmon said she's very strong. May God continuously bless her. Hey, just said, welcome, boo. Happy Thursday. Cornell, I see you drag racing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Sharon. Sharon said cancel Roxy ass right now, as we should. But there are those like us that see through the bullshit and lies. And then there are those that promote the bullshit that she does. And you have to ask yourself, does morals and integrity, do they still reside in humankind today? That's crazy. That is crazy. But Linda, I see you, baby. Kimberly Earls, my girl. Sharon Molly said, so Shannon was a loyal side chick. But girl, let me tell you. Tijuana says, Shannon knew from the very beginning. Shannon knew that she was number two. She said Shannon knew that she wasn't the main one. She also said, now this is where it gets strange, because she also said she did not know that Shannon had a fifth child by her brother until all of this came about. She had no clue. Shannon, Shannon, you ain't shit, girl. My girl, Marty. That's crazy. Tiffany said no one should blame her for her brother's action. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pam, I see you, baby. Welcome, my love. We have to be mindful. Mindful. And you know, before she even natural fit, hey, my love, we have to be mindful how we repeat the things that we hear, right? Because it could turn around, bite you in the butt, and have you looking the way you're looking out here in these streets. Absolutely. Absolutely. Marty said, well, that ain't hard to figure out because they're begging harder than ever. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Marty talking about them people again. But Marty, what Marty? Girl. Star, I'm with you, sis. She said, Lord only knows what she's been going through. And she's been holding on. She's been holding on. Absolutely, Sharon. Her brother Ian says that he loves his sister's spirit. He loves her heart. He loves who she is as a person. And he tickled about it because he said she's almost, she reminds him of a girlfriend because she's so nurturing. You know that speaks volumes? That speaks volumes. My girl Chanel, I see you, boo. Chanel said, I respect this. I respect this. Because you own up to it and not dragging nobody else. Chanel, that's one thing I don't do. Chanel, I have to be honest. When I got pulled, and I do say pulled, I not pulled, I got drawn. And I have to explain that before I say I got drawn into anything. Because there's layers to everything. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not ordinary in a sense, right? I have a heart so big, so big. I don't discriminate when it comes to people. I was raised to treat people the way you want to be treated, right? And I lived that way all my life. I don't push people to the side, and I don't judge people, and I don't allow others to dictate to me how I should feel about the next person. Let's start there. So by me not allowing others to dictate how I should feel about someone, my natural instinct as a well-raised woman with morals and dignity, my natural instinct is to always open my arms and welcome people with my heart as I would want them to accept me. But the difference with me is my mind had never shifted to, I have to be careful. My mind had never shifted to keep one eye open and one eye closed when dealing with this one, that one, and the other one, because I was never raised like that. I was never in that environment with people in real life, right? So I came into this social media world with an open mind and a trusting heart. And as I say on this platform every day, everybody is somebody. And that's how I accepted people. I accepted everybody as being somebody. Maybe I was a little too naive. Maybe I was too accepting. Maybe I was too open, not realizing that other people had an agenda and Mocha knew nothing about it. Right? Did it teach me a lesson? Hell yes, it did. I got pulled in shit that had absolutely nothing to do with me. And I had to swing my way through it. I had to kick my way through it. I don't do that in real life. And the lies that they tell to stain my character. You got to dig a little deeper than that. Because I'm covered always. Always. And that's why I say, can't nobody tell you about me better than me. I would never throw nobody under the bus. Why? Why? Because if you ain't shit in real life, at some point, no matter what journey you take, whether you walk a straight and narrow, turn right or turn left, if you ain't shit in real life, it's going to show in whatever other aspect of lives that you try to display. It's going to eventually show. That's it and that's all. So Chanel, I don't have to come out here and drag nobody, baby. I don't. My character, my integrity, my actions, and my stand on for what I believe in, it speaks for me. And I don't need to be on social media for validation. If I'm not validated when I walk through this house or walk out these doors or walk into the streets, and not even that far, if I'm not validated within myself, I will not come on social media looking for validation. Hey, Helen, welcome, sister. Dr. JD, I see you, baby. Welcome, sis. Kenyatta, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see y'all. Yolanda, welcome, boo. Welcome. My girl, I am covered. Hey, mama. Guys, if you're not already, hit the like button. Hit the like button for your girl. Delta Blue, I see you, boo. Welcome to the chat and happy Thursday. But Tijana Butts, that lady, she showed something today for anybody that was watching that felt like they was missing something. They were lacking something, such as morals, integrity, a little decency, compassion, understanding. The list can go on and on and on. If you were lacking any of that in your life, go just sit down and listen to Tijana Butts. Tijana Butts is living proof that decency and humanity still resides in some of us. It still resides in some of us. She displayed it. Ra said that's it right there. That's why he didn't look up at her during his sentence. It was shame, absolutely. And she said she tried. She tried. She tried to get him to look up, to just face her. And she said she just gave up when she realized he wouldn't look up. And she realized in that moment her brother was embarrassed. Embarrassed that she had to see him in that light. Sunshine says, Mocha, this is why I love you and have the utmost respect for you, being that you never had a problem with accountability. Let me tell you, Sunshine, I'm going to highlight that. Anytime we can't own our shit, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, that says a lot about your character. I'm not going to keep making excuses for the mess that I've made. I'm going to keep making excuses for being caught up someplace that I should have known better. I'm not going to keep making excuses for any hurt that I may have caused, pain that I may have caused, shit that I may have said that could have affected somebody in the wrong way. I'm not going to make excuses about that. I'm going to always stand in my shit. Mm-mm. Hey, Love Jones. My girl says, love you, Mocha. Tijuana has so much integrity. Lord, yes, she does. Most families enable and say, I'm minding my own business. She didn't. Oh, and God has her for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. That Tijuana Butts could be a poster, the poster lady. For all these women and some men that don't know what it means to stand in your shit. No nonsense. Look at my sister Sheena. Thank you, boo. Queen, you stand for respect and accountability. Love you for that, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I know. I always told y'all I don't come out here to pretend. My life outside of these YouTube walls don't call for nonsense. Don't call for disrespect. Don't call for bullshit. And I'm not going to come here and do it. And I damn sure won't do it and drag you all in the mix of it. Because I know anytime I get pulled into shit and I have to start addressing shit, that ruffles y'all feathers. And now y'all caught up into shit. So that's not what we're going to do, because I want you all to know that I love each and every one of you enough to protect where you stand, where you feel, how you feel, before I protect myself. Because I've always said, without you, there's no me. And how the hell can the blind lead the blind? No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Uh-uh. We're not going to do that. And I thank you all and respect each and every one of you for standing with Mocha, rocking with Mocha, believing in Mocha. And I always encourage you all. If you know something, if Mocha come across her platform and say something, and you all feel and know it to be factual and say, hey, Mocha, that's not how that goes. I encourage you all, always pull her back. Pull Mocha back in, tap her on the shoulder, sis, that's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. And we all could learn from that. We're never too old to be corrected. You may be an adult, but that don't mean you're mature. You may be an adult, but that don't mean you're standing in the space of a responsible nor mature adult. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tiff. We all got somebody in our family with issues. And you lying and the truth ain't nowhere around it if you say that you come from a perfect world. Because we none come from a perfect world. My girl Roz says my oldest brother who took care of me was also a Jarvis Butts. But he took care of me when my parents wouldn't. We all have a story, Roz. We all have a story. Some of our stories are more deeper and darker than others. But if we can come together, and I trust that we can with the community that we've built over here, and if we can come together as human beings with decency and morals and respect for one another, embrace one another. Sis, I feel your pain. Sis, you're not going through it alone. Sis, I'm here if you need to talk. We could move fucking mountains. We can move mountains because you know what? One thing I've learned, a lot of people come to these social media platforms broken, wounded, bruised. They attach themselves to these stories because they can relate. Don't y'all know sometimes we tear people to the ground, tear people to the floor to the point to where they don't want to tell their story because they look at how the subject at hand is being ostracized. So why should I open up if you're ostracizing, criticizing, and ridiculing the subject? We got to do better. We got to do better. And I'm going to say it again. If you have not watched Tijana Butts, you might want to go on Tootie Uncensored Live and watch that interview, and you might gain a little knowledge. Not only from what she says about her brother, because that's the least important aspect that you want to take from it, from my point of view. Go watch that lady. It ain't about Jarvis Butts anymore. It's about the stands that this lady takes as a sister, as a woman, as somebody that still stands with decency. Can't take that from her. She should read, if you listen to her, and if you know you're struggling with getting your shit right, that right there, that shit right there can help you turn it around. Carly Henry, I see you, love, welcome. That could help you turn it around. Jarvis disappointed his sister in the worst way. He disappointed her. He disappointed all of them. They knew he was out there running the street. They knew he was running amok. They knew what he was out there doing. But they had no idea it was to this extent. So you can't blame his family. Just like nobody, I mean, put yourself in her shoes for a minute. One of your siblings go out there and do the most. How do you think it would make you feel if people would turn their back on you? People would shun away from you. People would gossip and whisper behind your back every time they see you. People don't want to be in your space because they're blaming you and they're looking at you based off of what one of your siblings did. That wouldn't feel good. And that's the space that Jarvis Butts left his sister sitting in. That's the space he left her sitting in. And for grown people who should know better and want to do better, this ain't it. This definitely ain't it. My girl, I'm covered, said we don't know if he asked for forgiveness before his demise. So everybody's speaking evil about him, saying he's gone to hell and all of that. There's only one true God and judge, not you and definitely not me. As a matter of fact, you're absolutely right. We can't be out here wanting to be the judge nor the jury. Everything that we speak on, all these cases that we speak on, all the conversations that we have, they could take us someplace, either a step up or 2 steps back. It's your choice. We can learn from a lot of things that we deal with every day with these conversations. Or we could choose to stay stuck. I don't want to stay stuck. I don't want to stay stuck. And when I realized that I didn't want to stay stuck, I removed myself. I was always taught in life, if you don't feel yourself elevating and growing and feeling good about yourself when you're in certain company, change the company that you keep. Change the company that you keep. Everybody is not meant to go where you're going. And if that means you have to take that walk alone, take that walk alone. You don't need validation. But you don't need chains and balls on your ankles either. And if you never realize, if you never realize, and it took me, I have to say it over and over again, it took me coming to social media to realize this. Before I came to this side of YouTube, y'all, I was in a sector, baby, having a time of my life. Having the time of my life. But then when enough was enough, I changed my thought process. I did what I knew I should have been doing to begin with. So I started talking about these children. And I allowed myself to be attached to bad company. But I didn't know in that moment it was bad company. And maybe because I didn't want to see it. Maybe because I didn't want to believe it. For whatever reason it was, it opened my eyes. I have never had my name nor my brand splattered over social media like it has been since I've been on this side of YouTube. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The devil showed up in many ways to attack Mocha's integrity, assassinate her character, and even try to lay her down. But it takes a lot. You got to be a big fucking giant to lay Mocha down. You got to be a hell of a giant to lay Mocha down. Hey, love selfishly, welcome, sister. You know, don't do that. It took me a while to see it, y'all. Took me a while to see it. My name had never been tied up in bullshit. And I have to be honest. If my name was to ever be tied up in bullshit, it should have been tied up in bullshit from the sector that I came from. Because over there, I did the most. PJ, welcome, boo. I hope you're feeling better. My name should have been tied up in bullshit from where I come from. Because that's where I showed my natural black ass and did the most. But then when I came on this side, where it should have been peaceful, relaxing, and calm, little did I know Denny the devil was waiting. Isn't this something? And the devil came at all angles. When Denny the devil didn't survive, Denny sent his little brother. The little brother couldn't stand. He sent his little sister. I fought a whole family. And they're still coming for Mocha. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. I stand alone. I don't need validation. I don't need validation. I always said where there's two people listening to Mocha, my work is done. I don't do all of that. Dorothy Ann, welcome, my love. Welcome. My girl Love Jones says, Mocha, shout out to you for always keeping it real. Thank you, boo. Levesque said, you know, Mocha, and his brother was there with her. They both was lost on how to feel. Absolutely. They were numb. 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 You know, Love Jones made a comment. Roxy, tell us why. That right there. Mm-mm-mm. That's going to be a conversation for another day because I got something for that. I got some stuff for that, Love Jones. But Tijuana still stood in a respectable place when she even addressed that. She addressed her interactions with Rockface, right? How this girl tried to pull her into some stuff and then tried to expose her on social media. And like she said, she fought herself for falling weak. She asked herself, why would I fall for this? But that was the devil. That was the devil. And they show their hands when you ain't even looking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a shame. Oh, Leah, welcome, my love. Happy Thursday, baby. When Tijuana said how much she and Jarvis, how close they were, how he knew everything about her, how growing up, he was always following her, even when she didn't want to be followed. He knew what she experienced early on. I can't tell her story. She told her story. Y'all go to Toot and listen to her story. She said something. She said, the brother that I knew, the brother that I grew up with, the brother that I helped raise, that brother, he died a long time ago. That brother died a long time ago. Tijuana says, even when I looked at my brother's mugshot, when they took him to the other facility, I didn't know who that was. She said, I didn't know who that was. I just didn't recognize my brother anymore. Y'all, that was deep. That was deep. She said the face looked like his, but I didn't recognize him. I didn't recognize him. He was a thick Jarvis. He was a much bigger Jarvis. His eyes told a story. His features told a story. She no longer recognized the brother that she once knew. Hey, Portia, welcome, baby. And if you can't respect that lady in her own rights for keeping it real, first with herself and then allowing us into her heart, you ain't shit. And I have to say that because that lady did not have to open up her space and share her most private, intimate thoughts about her own sibling with a world full of damn strangers. She did not have to do that. So that lady deserves respect. She deserves to be appreciated for coming out here and doing what she did. She said the day before Jarvis Butts was due to turn himself in on February 7th, she knew he was going to be gone for a year. She invited him to dinner. Brother, I know you're going to be gone for a year. Let's go have dinner. She said they laughed. They talked. Nothing was out of the ordinary. He never mentioned a damn thing to her about NaZiyah being missing. And honestly, in her defense, for the naysayers and the sword throwers, this lady said she never knew NaZiyah. She never saw NaZiyah. So that's why she couldn't say in that moment that it was actually NaZiyah in that shop, because she never, in all the years of Jarvis playing around in Shannon's dirty drawers, in all those years, she had never laid her eyes on NaZiyah. That's what she said. And the most telling part, she said she never really communicated with Shannon. She loved her niece, though. Her niece. She said she had her niece phone number stored in her phone, not under the child's name, but under niece. So that means that niece right there was very special to Tijuana. That niece right there was very special to Tijuana. She said her brother would bring that particular niece over to spend time with her. She went on to say, and that's when you felt the love that she really had for her niece. She went on to say, had she stayed in that courtroom after she gave her statement, had she stayed in that courtroom and heard her niece's statement, brother or no brother, in that moment, she would have been locked the hell up. She said, had she listened, she would have been locked the hell up, brother or no brother. Because it's one thing to be sick and in that space with other children. But when you're sick and in that space with your own, that's a whole different type of ball game. And then she said when they were having dinner, he never revealed that NaZiyah was missing. And the funny part is, when Shannon would be looking for Jarvis, she would know how to dial their numbers. But NaZiyah is missing, and Shannon never called a soul. But she called Rockface, though. That she did. Huh. Unbelievable. She said there will be no funeral for Jarvis Butts. She said, Meryl, thank you, baby, for supporting the channel. She said, Meryl says, she had me in tears. Love you, Mocha. See if you felt her? If you were emotional while Tijana was telling a story, you're a special type of person. You stand in that same pain. Morals, integrity. Some may call it tough love. That ain't tough love. What the hell is that? That ain't got nothing to do with what she done. She stood on business. She stood on, hey, Tony, welcome, boo. She stood on business. And as she said, it could have been anybody. Michelle Brown, welcome to the chat, baby. I'm Covered says you have to be more careful about allowing people in your space. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I'm Covered. I learned it the hard way, boo. I learned that the hard way. Shell Baby said there was many of things said during this case. Oh, Shell Baby, lots and lots and lots of things, boo. Lots of things. She said many things that was said. Oh, girl, let me highlight that. Let me highlight that, Shell Baby. See, I like those that been rocking with me from the beginning and could repeat to Mocha the things that Mocha always said. I never claimed to always be right, but I knew wrong when I saw wrong. Shell Baby says, during this case, there were many things that was said that Mocha did not agree with. She would not repeat it. She knew something was not right about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, one thing I know, even the transcripts tell the truth, right? Transcripts tells the truth. But being Mocha, being who I am, and I had the transcripts. I have the transcripts. Being who I am, and I know it would have been a conversation piece. I know it would have been good gossip, y'all. I heard people talking about me. Mocha's not up to date. Mocha don't know this. Mocha don't know that. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. Sometimes morals, decency, integrity, and respecting others means more to Mocha than a click or a view. My conversation was based on, and has always been based on, the disappearance of this child, right? My conversation was always based on the fact that they allowed Jarvis Butts around this child. The things that I knew was said that Jarvis done that included other kids. I couldn't come out here and say it. And the only reason I chose not to say it now that we could talk about it, the only reason I chose not to come out here and say is because we have one little girl that's still unaccounted for. And why would I dangle the names of the other children who could potentially be in harm's way by constantly exposing what they've been exposed to? Mr. Boston, welcome, my love. Welcome. They still weren't safe, y'all. That's the way I looked at it. Jarvis was labeled a monster. But Mocha didn't look at Jarvis being the only monster. Because somebody somewhere knew what Jarvis was doing with these kids. Somebody somewhere saw what Jarvis was doing to these kids. So in Mocha's mind, Jarvis is locked up. But also in Mocha's mind is his counterpart is still walking the streets. And just because these children were moved from Shannon and Annette's custody, that don't make them safe. Because in Mocha's mind, those children saw. In Mocha's mind, those children knew. In Mocha's mind, those children were still targets. So I had to take the higher road and stand on what I believed in. So go ahead and call me no content Mocha, but I'll have no content and come out here and talk about cooking grits and stirring up eggs before I expose children. That's what I will do. I will talk about grits, and I will talk about cooking eggs, and I will talk about boiling a pot of water before I expose vulnerable children to a world, to a city like Detroit, where they don't give a damn about these children. Absolutely, Levesque said, I'm sure once you found out, Mocha, you straightened it out and made your OG moves, Levesque, and I did. And you know, Levesque, once I made those moves, baby, my heart was lighter. My mind was clearer. And you know, when you put yourself in a space, Levesque, where when you're unbothered, you're unbothered. If I don't go knock on your door, if I don't go knock on your door, then I know there's no reason for me to be invited in. So in order to stay out the chaos and the confusion, I don't run these YouTube streets looking for doors to knock on. I don't go sit in your backyard and peep through your kitchen window to see what you got stirring up, to see if you calling my name or talking about me. It's mind over matter, because what I don't know don't bother me. And you know, sometimes even if I know, it still don't bother me, because the problem ain't Mocha. The problem is you. The truth will always, always come out. Always. Kenyatta, girl, that was an amazing interview. Thank you so very much, Essie. I appreciate that. Essie said, Mocha, you are so right. You are the truth. Love you for being real. That's all I know. Tanya says, Mocha, people just can't handle how certain people were raised. We come from all walks of life. We want people to treat people the way we want to be treated. Our integrity means so much. Absolutely. Hey, Shonda, welcome, boo. Absolutely. Why would I come to you? Right? Why would I come to you expecting you to kiss my ass and be a yes ma'am to me when I know I ain't in a space to give you the same? That's not how that shit go. Again, I have morals, I have principles, and I have dignity. I'm not going to accept from you what I'm not willing to give you. I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you what you're not willing to give me. Respect is earned. I don't do bullies. And on this social media, people done got too caught up, too placent. No, y'all too old to be bullies. Tammy, welcome, sis. That's crazy. Lavette, she said it. I'm not like my brother. I'm not like my brother. And y'all know what? In a real world, from hearing that lady speak today, I may not live to see it. But something in my heart tells me, something in my heart tells me that Tijana Butts is going to save a lot of lives. Her resilience and her story, her strength, and her voice is going to take her places that she never imagined. She has a story to tell. And that story that she tells can save somebody. Can save somebody. And I'm pretty sure if Tijana Butts knew today, if she knew back then, should I say, if she knew back then in 2024 what she knows today, our conversation would be totally different. See, that's what we don't understand. God uses us in ways that we'll never understand. And that's when you know he's using you. You start fighting flying monkeys. They come left, they come right. Flying monkeys are everywhere when God has his hand on you. And that's a fact. But you got to let God be God. You got to let God do what he said he is going to do. And the monkeys are going to soon enough lose their wings, then they will no longer be labeled flying monkeys. They will only be labeled monkeys. So you gotta stand and just let him do what he said he gonna do. You can't take it from him. Now, you can't give it to him and come and take it back. Just give it to him and let him do what he said he gonna do. And you ain't gonna need no more repellent spray. The monkeys gonna soon get tired. And the monkeys are gonna stop flying. Because he's gonna clip their wings. And he's gonna keep clipping them until they learn their lesson. People don't understand. There are levels. There are levels when you're walking in the light. There are levels when you're walking in adulthood. Hell, you got the age to be an adult, but are you mentally prepared? Are you mentally prepared? Because if you ain't mentally prepared, that means your soul ain't ready either. And if your soul ain't ready, then spiritually you're dead. And if you're spiritually dead, you can't tell Mocha nothing. Because we're not the same. That's why y'all don't see Mocha coming here swinging. Y'all don't see Mocha fighting. Y'all don't see Mocha opening up this platform defending her name for nothing. Because it's already done. It's already done. It's already done. I didn't come to this platform because this is what Mocha wanted to do. I came to this platform to deliver the way that I deliver, not the way somebody wants me to deliver. I came here because I was led here. This was my destiny. God gave me this. God gave it to me. So why would I jeopardize that and allow others to think that they could defame me? Are you serious? You all have to be careful. You all have to be careful. Be careful. Because I'm still a work in progress, baby. I am still a work in progress and God ain't finished with me yet. So be careful. No content, Mocha. No, Mocha ain't got no content. He don't. Mocha ain't got no content. Ron said, and God will also eject the ones that don't need to be around here. Absolutely. Roz, when I gave that live stream the other night, and one thing I want you all to know, each and every time I come live, I pray before I hit go live. This is what I do. I do. And the other night, I said, God, because I heard the buzzing noise in the background, but I knew I wasn't going. God, anything that's not for me, that's coming in my chat with hate, chaos, and confusion. Lord, you know this ain't what we built this on. Remove them. Remove them. It makes no difference if I speak to 10 people or 100 people. I'd rather have 10 faithful than 100 noisy ones that don't benefit and just taking up space. Now let me show you. Let me share with you my daddy. Let me share my daddy with you, the God that I know, love, and serve. I didn't come live on yesterday. I needed a break because my real life required me to do everything that I do all day long, but I needed a break. So last night when I logged in, I said, well, look at my God. Look at my God. Those that didn't deserve to be here. Baby, they're falling by the wayside like flies. They're unsubscribing left and right. I don't miss them because you weren't meant to be here to begin with. And I stand on that. I stand on that. I'm not out here selling no wolf tickets to nobody. I'm not in competition with nobody. You do you, and I'ma do me. Because what God has for me, it is for me. We're not the same. And you have to understand and accept what he has for you is for you. He ain't gonna give you what he gives me. Because you're not me and I'm not you. So don't compete where you don't compare. Look at my sister April. Thank you, sis. Thank you for always supporting the channel. I don't ever like to come out here and do these things, but people don't understand. I am on assignment. And my assignment is not fighting content creators. My assignment is not going back and forth with content creators and being put in positions that I don't deserve to be put in. My assignment is being a voice for these children. Again, what I do is my way of doing it. And I always said, y'all better find somebody else to play with. Because my Lord, Drag Racing said, I learned something from all of this today. Drag Racing, there was a lesson to be learned from all of this today. It was a lesson to be learned from all of this today. Ron says, come on, Mocha. Who got in Judas' ear? It was a distraction. And he fell for it. Absolutely, Dr. JD, junior high school bullshit. Tony says facts. God don't bless no mess, Mocha. You better keep on talking. Tony, I wasn't messy like this when I was in elementary school. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I never claimed to be a playground bully. My mama raised me better than that. My girl Kenyatta says, Mocha, when you lose 2, you gain 4. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. LeBeck say, yes, Mocha, on the real. Only you know your assignment, God sent and blessed. Absolutely. And ain't nobody going to tell me different. Dr. JD said, Mocha, I love a good Mocha read, and I know that tonight is not the night. Just remember to speak over yourself before coming out into these YouTube streets. Absolutely. And Dr. JD, I love you so much for always reminding me. I could always count on you, sister, for reminding me and encouraging me to speak over myself. That's love right there. And I respect and love you so much for that. And that's why I can say over and over again, the community that we built, I love it. I love it. I love it. Lebec said what she told us, Mocha, is that she really didn't know when at one time we thought she did. At least I did. I don't feel bad for feeling that way at one point in time. Lebec, at one time when all of this first started, we all was feeling a certain type of way about this situation. But as this case grew, right, we started seeing it from a different perspective. Absolutely, Kenyatta. Kenyatta says because a narrative sounds good, but we have to fact check it first before speaking on spreading it. Absolutely. And you know, when I first got out here, green, dumb, didn't know, I fell for it. I fell for it. I sure did. But that ain't Mocha. I elevated. I can't sit in the middle of mess. I refuse. Absolutely, Lady D. God is not the author of confusion. How can you say you love me and I done gave you the blueprint and you taking it and doing what you want with it? We ain't doing that, because as fast as I gave it to you, watch how swiftly you lose it, because you're not following orders. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. Absolutely, Belinda. Belinda says, amen, Mocha. Our energy here can really, really move mountains. And Belinda, listen, this chat room is a chat room full of strong people that stands on truth, has integrity. And I've always lived to say, when I got old enough to understand, if I could help somebody along the way. I always heard my grandmother, I heard the people in the church sing this song over and over and over. If I could help somebody along the way, my living won't be in vain. And I never understood that. Never understood it. But as I've grown over the years, as I've allowed God to do his work, right now I stand in a space of understanding. If I could help somebody along the way, my living won't be in vain. And that's how I've chose to live my life every day that I'm blessed to wake up. And I'm not gonna jeopardize who I am to be a friend with somebody on YouTube that I don't know, who have motives that don't align with who I am. Hey, Cynthia, welcome, baby. There's so much that we could give, that we could do. Because we may have a sister in here crying right now, going through the most, going through the most. And how could she heal and how could she feel whole again if all we know is mess, drama, chaos? You have to be mindful. You have to be mindful. And absolutely, Lady D, she said a mouthful. She said, because this story that went, this case with the NaZiyah has gone so far left. Tijuana said it's sad. All these other conspiracy theories that then came across these YouTube streets. We forgot that NaZiyah is still unaccounted for. Absolutely, Carla Henry. Because Carla Henry said we all need to take a look at ourselves. Absolutely. We are all one step short of living in poverty. We are all one paycheck short of living in poverty. We are all damn near playing with this government one sandwich short of being hungry. So who am I to talk about you? Who am I to talk about him? Because it's you today and it could be me tomorrow. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Tanya says, Mocha, been there. My mother was so in denial. He wasn't a Jarvis Butts. I have to come clean house and protect my mother. See, that's what I'm saying. We all got a story. We all got a story. We all got a story. And we feed off of one another in here. And we're here to uplift each other. We come to these chats to hold these conversations about the subjects. But we also come here to uplift one another. My girl Roz says, we don't need huge numbers. 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Oh, keep talking, keep talking. Fed a multitude. God is able. Oh, yes, he is. Don't ever tell me what my God can't do. Tanya, just like Roz, my heart right now says, I'm sorry for the things that you two that we know experience. Nobody never embrace you all with the I'm sorries, because there's no way in life nobody should ever have to experience nothing like this. Nobody. My girl, Natural Fit says, we all have been there. The important, most healing part of this is that you saw it, acknowledged it, and made corrections to protect you and your brand. Absolutely, Natural Fit. Absolutely. I had to whoop. I had to. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Look at my girls in here with these scriptures and these songs. Roz says, in every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you shall condemn. Yes, Lord. Ask yourself, what would Jesus do in those shoes? Tanya, you know, girl, we turned the porch light on and keeping it real is all we know. My girl, I'm covered, said it backfired on him, and it did. My girl, Nisha, hey, boo, I didn't see you. Marty said, Miss Mocha, you will never walk or stand alone. You got what they never have or know. You have no labels and family. Thank you, Marty. I always appreciate my Nola Bell family. I surely do. I am covered said the one thing that Roxy didn't know. Samantha, and I think that's the thing that done shook her whole core. One thing she didn't know is that Tijuana would have had so many people standing with her. God don't play about his. And those that needs to be exposed eventually will be. And he's exposing them one by one. Now, if you want to stay caught up in the mess with blinders on, like you don't see the real, well, you deserve to be in the mess. You deserve to be in the mess. She told her story. She told her story, and I commend her for that. Jarvis was caught up. Jarvis was cut up. Love Jones says, it's always in the eyes you can see the demon. Their eyes have no lights. I mean, it was empty. Empty. Marty says, Tijuana and your family are hardworking, decent people who love and care about each other and your families. You're still 100 feet higher than those that's trying to bring you into their nothing lives. Respect, blessing, and love. Thank you, Marty. Marty, you always have a kind word. Hey, Travis, welcome. Anonymous Angel, welcome, my love. Always have a kind word. Kimberly Earls said, Tijuana had me in tears. Absolutely, Kimberly Earls, you're a real one. You're definitely a real one. Because you felt her heart. You felt her pain without her even displaying it. When you've done all that you can, and you done cried till you can't cry no more, what do? You stand. And today, Tijana Butts stood. She stood, and I loved it for her. I loved it for her. Absolutely. Jarvis was as sick as his secrets. sick as its secrets. We can learn a lot if we just pay attention. Don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to judge. You can learn a lot just by listening. Absolutely, Dr. JD. Dr. JD said your peace and your space is sacred. Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful Soul said, I just wanted her to know that even that day she seen NaZiyah, they already had a plan. That's why I don't want her to beat herself up. And Beautiful Soul, I believe she's done that enough. And she's accepted it for what it is. And now she's in a space where she can move on. She can move on. Rashida says, absolutely. We gotta have we have integrity over here. That's why we didn't speak on those kids, sis. Those children are innocent. And I love when Tijana said that today. Leave them children out of this. These children done went through enough. You around here calling these children names like they're grown women. Stop that. You know, you forget that you're a mother. It's okay to be a parent, but where's the love of a mother? The nurturing of a mother? Where is that? Unless that's who you are in real life. Levesque said their family had a lot of people involved. Different parts in this sixth circle. Absolutely. And you know, Levesque, it ain't over. It ain't over. Still some things are going to come out that's going to shock us all. And all we have to do is be prepared mentally. Because our hearts have already been through it, because we still don't know where that child is. We don't know where that child is. Ross. Ross says Jarvis was used by the Enterprise. Notice he was the only one in handcuffs. Absolutely. Absolutely. We see things over here that they don't see. Marty said, no, Miss Mocha, you didn't hype up the true facts. You said as you saw and heard. You weren't chasing clout like money hyping your platform, because it already weighing down your porch with support. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for those kind words. Those absolutely, Lebek, those children witnessed so much. Belinda said, bless you for protecting the other children. Thank you, baby. Look, that should have been normal. That should have never been a debate. That should have never been a debate when it came to these children. Ever. Carla Henry, you understand me? Do you understand me, Carla Henry? Carla Henry said, I'd rather have no content, none, than to try to hurt and destroy children. Do you understand me, Carla Henry? I just said, I'll come out here every day, talk about grits, eggs, and boiling water before I ever dehumanize children. Carla Henry, children already have it hard enough in life, especially children that has gone through abuse and trauma. Why keep re-traumatizing them? Why? Show me who you are, and I'll tell you exactly who you are. Shit. Thank you, Sharon. Sharon said, that's real. You've never dragged the children. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Dr. JD, my girl, said it only takes just a little bit of mold to rot. Say that. Say that. Marty, you crazy. Marty don't forget nothing. Marty said, now listen here, Linda. Miss Mocha is talking. Tony says, bullseye, Mocha. Mocha don't do that. We can agree and disagree. If they don't like it, F them. Keep moving for the victims, Mocha. Talk your shit, sis. Justice for NaZiyah and the victims of Jarvis Butts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tony, the distractions had to go. And God answers prayers. He removed the distractions. And all I could say was, thank you, Father. That's all I could have said. That's all I could have said. But we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go because there are so many more children that needs to be saved. Kenyatta girl, Shannon and Annette, their day is coming. You could best believe that. Levesque said, check this out, Mocha. At the end of the interview, she called on the mamas. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, Levesque. And God started working instantly in that moment, Levesque. For those of you that are in the bushes, or those of you that are just getting here, we're talking about the amazing interview that Jarvis Butts' sister had with Tootie Uncensored. And if you haven't checked it out, please go give Tootie a like, a thumbs up, and watch that live stream. That interview was awesome. Lebec said, check this out, Mocha. At the end of the interview, she called on mamas that have children by Jarvis to let her know so she know who is family and who's not having kids dating. That was amazing. And look, Lebec, two of Jarvis' children rushed out during the interview. During the interview, God shows up and he shows out. He may not come when we want it, but one thing's for certain and two is for sure. He's always on time. Always. on time. Absolutely, Dr. JD. Dr. JD said most people in his life have stepped in some shit. Wipe it off and keep marching on for justice. Absolutely. Absolutely, sister. My girl Rashida said, I appreciate the chats like this. It's so peaceful. So peaceful. So peaceful. We have our moments. Shell Baby says, and we will enjoy having a conversation about grits, eggs, boiling water, bacon, sausage, pancake, French toast, then share our recipe. Shell Baby, you understand? Do you understand? Girl, we don't do that. Tony says, Mocha, we need to speak to Kim Worthless to see if she's going to make more arrests because the other victims, let me tell you something, it's deeper than if she's going to make arrests, right? Because let me tell you something. Today, I hopped on live earlier. For those of you that missed that live stream, go catch it. Another missing girl, 14 years old, out of Detroit. The mother didn't use the word Annette used, so now I guess they got a new word, a new phrase to use for these children in Detroit since NaZiyah. She wasn't listed as a runaway. Look what the mother said. She left home without permission and never returned. March 27th, that was last Friday, and they still don't know where this child is. All DPD could do is give us a description on how she looked and what she had on. That's all the information we have on this child. So that conversation needs to be bigger than just what arrests have not been made. That conversation with Kim Worthless needs to be what is being done to save these children. What is it that y'all are hiding? What is really going on in Detroit? Because all these children that's coming up missing, they have one common thing. No, not one. They're all little brown girls. That's number one. And they're all between the ages of 11 and 15. That tells a story. That tells a story. Absolutely, Dr. JD. Dr. JD said we will not take our eyes off of Detroit in this trafficking. Justice for the NaZiyah Harris law. Absolutely. We have to work together as a team. And my biggest thing is if the disappearance of NaZiyah and all the noise making that came behind NaZiyah's name from the public outcry, not from the justice system, not from the family, but from people invested, us. The families in Detroit is well aware of what transpired with NaZiyah. I cannot see them not keeping a closer eye on their children. And then when the children come up missing, they're not making a whole lot of noise. They're not making a whole lot of noise. So it raises a lot of questions. It raises a lot of questions. What's really going on? Because I really don't want to believe that there are people sitting in Detroit and seeing these children disappearing like this and not saying a word. In my opinion, when they start making an example of these parents and locking their asses up, when they start making these parents accountable for their children and start being parents and doing the right thing in parenting, that might slow it down just a little bit. That might save some of these children. Because again, somebody in Detroit is recruiting, in my opinion, and somebody is snatching. Thank you, sis, for always supporting the channel. Mocha, just because you're a true queen, thank you, boo. Too many children. And it's a shame. It's a shame. God is able. Dr. JD, these parents got to be locked up. They got to be locked up. You got to make an example. You got to start somewhere. Hey, God is with me. Welcome, my love. God is with me, say characteristics of a passionate Pisces. Thank you, boo. Passionate it is. Tony says, the community needs to come together and protect the community. I'm thankful for the knowledge and wisdom that I received when I was younger. Absolutely. Thank God for big mamas. Thank God for mamas that were being mamas. And let's not forget, thank God for daddies, because I thank God each and every day I had a real daddy. I had a man that was in my life from the time that I was born, and God has blessed him that he's still here with me. I never in my life heard my parents disagree. I never heard them argue. I never saw them fight. And I'm blessed for that because they taught me what not to allow in my life. Roz, thank you, sister. That taught me what not to allow in my life. And my parents, and I'm by no means am I saying they never had arguments. I'm not saying they didn't have disagreements. And I ain't saying they never had a fight. But what I will say is I never heard it. I never saw it. I never knew about it. Because whatever problems they had, they took care of that in their bedroom when we all went to sleep. Look at my girl, Kenyatta. She said she's blessed to be here. Kenyatta said she's blessed to be here. And you know, I thank you for being a member for 11 months, girl. You almost on that year milestone. Appreciate you. Daddies ain't daddies no more. Mamas ain't mamas no more. We got these young children raising themselves. And that's where the problem starts. Mama and daughter competing for the man, same man. Look at Shannon, prime example. Prime example. You know, and a lot of you all may have thought, and not y'all in the room, But those that are not here tonight and are hanging in the bushes may have thought Mocha was just being ugly. When Mocha said the other night, don't bring my name up in other people's chat room and don't come here mentioning another contents creator's name. Right? I said that for a reason. I said it for a reason. And Tijana Butts confirmed. That was my confirmation when she spoke what she spoke today. Everything that was put out there, she debunked it. She debunked it. You cannot repeat everything you hear. You cannot. It may sound like a good gossip column, but everything ain't gossip worthy. Because back in the day, every snake that I knew, he slithered on the ground and he hissed. The world we live in today, the social media world, these snakes are walking and talking and beating on keyboards. Be ye careful. Be you careful. Stop it. And I just think that it's so disrespectful to mention another content creator's name in somebody else's chat, because every content creator won't take it the way Mocha's taking it. And then your feelings are hurt. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then some content creators will take it out of context. All somebody got to do is go to their room and say, such and such in Mocha's chat. And you know what their first mindset is? Not who said it, but the fact that Mocha entertained it. We ain't doing that. We're definitely not doing that. You know, and even, you know, as subscribers, you know, and I have to say it, even as subscribers, I know y'all want the gossip, y'all want the tea, y'all want that. But sometimes you have to be careful where you plant your ears and your eyes. You have to. Because then when it don't go your way, you just say one thing out of line, then your feelings hurt. But your feelings are hurt. Mocha didn't do that to you. You brought it on yourself. Because you got to read the room first. And you didn't do that. You just jumped in the water. And then your feelings are hurt and you come to Mocha and you want to share it here. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. No, we ain't. We ain't doing that. If they hurt your feelings over there, go sort it out over there. Don't bring your hurt feelings over here, because I ain't no doctor. I ain't got no Band-Aids. You bought it on yourself. That's it and that's all. And that's how I feel about that. Not being rude, just being truthful and standing in my shit. Look at my girl, Lady of Faith, is up in here. Hey, boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lady of Faith said, Mocha, you're right. It's always trouble in these YouTube streets just mentioning another content creator. I respect you because you're real about yours. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Lady of Faith. I appreciate that. Carla Henry said you wouldn't think grown people would make up lies. It's sad, but it's true. Absolutely, girl. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to be careful. And my thing is, I don't want the tea that bad to go sit no damn where and get my feelings hurt. I'd rather turn this goddamn YouTube off, go grab a book, sit here and read, or watch Matlock. Ain't no goddamn way. No way. Because once again, don't come out here in these social media streets expecting people to treat you the way you would treat them. Everybody ain't alike. Everybody ain't alike. Everybody ain't alike. But guys, I gotta share. 2.5 hours I've been here, and look at how fast the time passed. But I'm gonna say this: I will not be on the porch tomorrow night. I will not be on the porch tomorrow night. This is our long weekend coming up. Family fun day for us tomorrow. Good Friday. Yeah, now we start our day tomorrow at noon. It may end sometimes late in the night. I don't know how long it's gonna go. So tomorrow night, the porch light will not be on. Saturday, we have a long day planned Saturday. We have a children's Easter egg hunt. We have an adult Easter egg hunt. And we have a community block party. So that's going to be another long day for me. But I think I may hop on the porch Saturday morning, sometimes before noon, before I get my day started. Because I have to chop it up with you all before Easter Sunday comes. And then on Sunday, which is Easter, I'll leave something on the community wall. I won't be live on Sunday. So if I don't hear from you or see you between now and, well, not now, Saturday morning when I go live or up until Monday, I want to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed, enjoyable, and holy Easter weekend. Enjoy your families. Spend time with your family. Love on your family. Because if you ain't got family, you ain't got nothing. We may not love the family that God has given us. We got some family members that just irks our nerves. But at the end of the day, we all we got. We all we got. I got some that just make my ass itch. I talk about them. Yes, I do. But do I deny them? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Guys, I'm going to say I love y'all. I'm going to say I love that you all rock with the channel and y'all support Mocha. And every time the porch light comes on, somebody's sitting on it. I appreciate that. We're going to get out of here tonight flooding the chat. All these babies praying for one another. You pray for me, I'm going to pray for you. Keep one another in prayer. We're going to keep one another uplifted and encouraged. Because that's what Jesus would want us to do. And we got to remember sometimes the family that you bond with ain't always the family that you were blessed with. Ain't got to be blood. Blood don't make your family. And I could truly say over here, we're family. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Those that supported through Cash App, Super Chat, Super Stickers, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button for your girl on your way out the door. Until next time, you enjoy your weekend. God bless. You all be safe. And we will see you next time.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Motivated from the heart, never run. Truth and caring, everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. Moki in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care and everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Down in the NOLA where the soul don't break. Mocha built the lane where the real ones stay. Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love. It's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh no, no bellows, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care and everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide. Where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No, to lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care and everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the NOLA Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Stand tall. Join the family.
Good night. God bless. Until next time.